shukrani. Mshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa siku ya leo, nikiwa kwa nyumba ya Mwenyezi Mungu, mbele ya Wakenya wenzangu, mbele ya wale ambao wamechukua fursa wenyewe kuja kunisikiza. Na mimi naambia Mungu, hii mapendo lazima iendelee. Na kwa yule pastor ambaye aliomba, Mungu akubariki. Na huwa anapeana mfano, nitakuja kuongea Kiingereza. Huwa anapeana mfano hivi. Ukiona mwanasiasa akienda mahali, anaenda na vitu vitatu. Jambo la kwanza ni uongo. Jambo la pili ni uongo. Na namalizia na uongo. That is the Kenya we have today. Ladies and gentlemen, and your excellencies, you made my day very easy. And those who planned for my coming, those who took courage, those who stood as men and women, those who put away tribalism of labeling others. We are Matiangis, we are Wajackoyas. I think that has come to an end today. And I wouldn't be very surprised that Honorable Matiangi, wherever you are, with your wisdom, compassionate, being the most honorable creature that I've ever met on earth, a man who stands on his toes and speaks the way it is. Yes. A man who tells the government and even uses the F word. The man who tells some of these court-manipulated summons to achieve political ends, you can go to hell.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And he stands firm and says, yes, I am Matiang'i. A man who can look at the educational system and puts it upside down and say, no more cheating in the examination. A man who can tell the police, you do it this way, no compromising. And a man who is very careful and a good listener. Those are the qualities I've been looking into Kenyan leadership. Conviction within myself that since I've been a lone ranger, probably if the system does not interfere with him, I mean the system of Ruto, and even the system of Uhuru Kenyatta, both of them combined, having protected criminal industry in that country, to ruin that country to where it is today, and now I'm told that Uhuru Kenyatta was a good president. Really? Not really. I know you'll be listening to me, but he wasn't, because if he was, Raila Odinga would be still be alive today. Because that's the man who won the election, followed by Ruto, and I got 2.8 million votes. From nowhere. But then guess what? He did what he did. And then Uhuru was there. Matiang'i was there, but Matiang'i was clueless because he was just serving the nation under instructions. Yes. Can we blame him? No. He was not the president. But I'm not trying to say that I'm defending my brother. I'm just heckling him a little bit so that he can look out there and reach out, because I've tried to reach out to Matiang'i, but he has been elusive. But when you see something good, whether it's a woman or a man, you have to search for. You don't have to be a failure. That's why you see sometimes when I dig him and I say, you have not been calling me. I've been calling you. when are you going to call me? Because there's something good in this man. It doesn't mean that I'm joining him. What that means is, can we sit together and identify issues on my part and issues on your part, so that we can consent and see what good can come out of it. The issue of leadership, we can decide that one later on. The issue of leadership, Kenyans can decide that later on. It's not that I have to be the president. No. Depends on what the country carries for us, not us carrying for the country. Which now brings me to a little bit of some introduction, the content, summary of that content, and then I'll open the room for interrogation and investigation. My name's Wajackoya, Professor Wajackoya. I became a professor before I got a PhD. Isn't that something that led Kenyans to think that this guy, the Kenyan system is like, you cannot be a professor without a PhD, but Americans make it very easy. If you work hard and you stand hard, like I was in California, teaching in some of the universities in Southern California, it was a representative of San Bernardino, a lady who came to some of my lectures, and then she invited me to go to the Senate to speak about education and myself. And then some professors were there, and they said, wow, I think this man has something that we need. They called me to the university and they offered me a professor because of my excellence. Wow. So I became a professor before getting a PhD, and that's why I want to make it very, very clear. Because there have been a lot of misconception about my education, about my character, and about me. Of course, the 11th century, or 6 AD, were characters who were caricatures. And when they did what they wanted to do, including Socrates, Plato, and Karl Marx, people looked at them as mad people. People had no in or out. I went to Kenya. I wanted also to be a Plato of the 21st century. And I became a caricature. Shade of my suits. I put what they call kitamba on my head. I was called names for that. Because I had seen something that others had not seen. I became a caricature, and I did not want anybody to understand me, other than calling me names. A conman, a bank, a drug dealer, atapoteza watoto wetu. The church upon which I stand, the pulpit, took me to court for unfitness. What they could not describe was the content in this head. When I said I wanted to be a president, I said it in the church, Southern California, in a Kenyan church in San Bernardino. When the pastor said, anyone with something to say, not you, pastor. Then I went on the street. I said, Pastor, I want to go to Kenya to be the president. And yeah, they threw me out. And that's how I started my journey to the presidency. Because when I said that we were going to smoke bang, I wanted an audience. I wanted somebody to listen to me. I didn't have money. And when I said, we are going to sell snacks for venom, the judge said, hey! I got a tick. When I say that night runners are also wasanii, that's promoted for tourism, they said, oh! And when I say that women who keep snakes at home, those grandmothers, keep live venomous snakes, and they play with the snake and it comes out and what have you, and they call them witches. I said, no, that's also a profession to be recognized. Because when you go to Olympics, when you go to China, the Chinese produce more medals than any other country. Because they have so many games, of which if we took these other philosophies that we call evil, we can get more medals. And in that case, we shall get gold, silver, and what? And bronze. Because there will be nobody else who can jump as many. So when I said that, I created a character in myself. I pulled people to me. And I said, wow. And that's what's happening in the country. And that's how I've become an epitome in that country today. And that's why I've gone in reverse formula. Before I touch on other things, I'm also educated. But whose education is it? Is it helping Kenyans? Is it helping me? Is it brain drain or brain gain? Or is it for what purposes? I've gone to school. I was a chokora. Everybody knows that. I did not marry people, but I did bad things. I confessed already, Pastor. Bishop, I was forgiven. I joined the police as a police constable because I didn't have anywhere to go. I hated the police, but I had no chance. I had no right. I joined the police, and that's the best thing that ever happened in my life was to become a police officer. And I have my brother here. When I was doing my recent PhD, I went for research in Texas to research stuff on Section 287G of the Immigration Act 1996. And I wanted to find out, as an expert in immigration, and professors are here, I wanted to find out, to fill the gap of whether that particular section of the Immigration Act here, the one that stigmatizes racial profiling. I also wanted to interrogate the Constitution of the United States, especially the Fourth Amendment rights, where a police officer can stop you and deprofile you by taking over federal immigration work. I wanted to find out why Congress, in particular, applied plenary powers to surrender some of the work or federal work the state and local police immigrants. The county of Maricopa. And it took me quite a long time to research. I used all the methods, and the conclusion was, yes, therefore, the United States Congressional Committee on Immigration adopted my thesis. Thank you. And they have archived it for reference. For reference in immigration law, of which I'm an expert. I've gone to various law schools in the UK, where I was a grave digger and a survivor. Done bachelor's, master's. I think this PhD I got recently is the 17th from the state of Minnesota. Wow. 17th degree. So whoever can now question about this character's background and education, you can always find it. And that's why I teach in some of the universities, including USAID. I go to court as a solicitor in London. I go to court here, both state, but because Washington DC is not a state, it's federal, specialized in immigration practice. And I also go to court in Kenya. When they were saying that this man was a con man, I went back there. I went to Kenya School of Law. But before I was admitted, they told me that the 2010 Constitution does not allow you to come to law school straight. You must do some course in constitutional law. I said, fair. So I went to do it, and I'll cut my story short. I went to do it at Riara University. Then I was exempted. I paid $250,000 in Riara for that course, and then now KSL is exempting me. They want me to pay $100,000 plus. And what did I do? I did both, and I passed all of them at one go. That's when enmity started in Kenya with the Kenyan status quo. They wanted me to fail so that they could prove a point. But the Lord I worship every day, amen, said no to this, you can't touch this one. Therefore I became untouchable. And I went to contest for the presidency as a lone ranger. Because none of those fellows could even give me a chance of rule. Ukienda ODM, akina Junet wako huko na Ladwa. Anakuangalia na view sasa. Huyu wazima amekuja kufanya nini? In fact, they said one day when I went there, this man, what is he doing here? Ukienda kwingine, huyu alikuwa polisi. My brother, don't falter. Is there any other police officer here? Please follow your career to the heart to give you a lot. Even George Bush Sr. was a policeman. I've been in exile for many years in the UK. I've been a refugee. I know what it bites when you are in the diaspora. I know what people in the diaspora feel like. I'd come here and written lots of things, but I think I'm going to deviate so that I go straight away to the point. Kenyans in the diaspora. What is it that you have to come here and suffer so much so that you can do something to be recognized? My sister here and my brother, who made us very proud, because I also tried to contest in Tottenham when Barney Grant died. I'm running for member of parliament in Tottenham, in UK, North London. Yes, I went to the ballot box, and my friend, the current Deputy Prime Minister, David Lammy, and Foreign Secretary in the UK, were both at SOAS, University of London School of Creative and African Studies, studying as law students. So we went to the ballot, and then there was a questionnaire. The name, date of birth, blah, blah, blah. Married, no children, marital status. If married, produce a birth certificate. Any marriage certificate, that's why my pen defeated me. So I couldn't proceed, because I had married it manually. And that's why the other day I was advocating that we should have marriage certificates to be renewable every 5 years. So that's how I lost to be a member of parliament. Maybe I could have started earlier than yourselves, but my friend David Lammy went through, and is now he's held various portfolios, and is now the Deputy Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He's a black British. Now, when it comes to diaspora, on the issue of brain gain and the issue of brain drain, what does the diaspora do? Many of my fellow politicians or political leaders in Kenya do not understand even the meaning of the word diaspora. And that's why we have political failures and minutes in the country, because they don't understand themselves. Then they expect to lead that. We start with the Philippines. Philippines have 4 ministers in charge of the diaspora. We have a special minister for Saudi Arabia, because there are 2.2 million workers in Saudi Arabia, with rules and regulations to go by, with contracts, binding contracts, which are government to government, not government to private sector. The obligations that go with those contracts, and the benefits that go with those contracts. Because the revenues earned by the Filipinos is the one that's making Philippines to thrive apart from fishing and tourism. Yeah. They get $2.8 billion a year from the diaspora. We have the diaspora minister in UK, the diaspora minister in charge of Filipino workers in the UK. We have one here, and then we have one in General Asia. And if you look at their blueprint, and the way they treat the diasporans, they have come up with a blueprint which takes care of a Filipino worker in a foreign country. It's like gold mine. You are protected by your government, your contracts are protected, you are given tax rebates. And if it comes to investment, you are given 5 years tax-free to attract that money to go back to Philippines, and also not to break the moral fabric of a family. What about Uganda? Let's not go to Philippines. When Museveni took over, one best thing that he has done, though as much of a dictator as he is, Museveni, when he took over from Idi Amin and the Obote group, he said Uganda can only be built by Ugandans from the diaspora. Because Amin had really messed up the whole country. Then he made a deal. He said, if you're a doctor or a professor, and you want to come back to Uganda, we shall give you a special contract and stipend, which will not make you detach yourself from your family, but you'll come and work in Uganda. But before you come, we shall pay off your mortgages, and we shall also look into any other loans that you have. And that's why Museveni was able to restore the economy of Uganda, which had been ruined for years and years by the dictatorship regime of Idi Amin. If you go to Uganda today, the only thing that is missing in Uganda is human rights and democracy. Yeah. But when you look at the economy of Uganda, it's all run by the diasporans. So it's Paul Kagame, a village that became a nation, a village in foreign country that became a nation within their own country. I'm so shocked that right now if you go to Rwanda, you'll find flying taxis made in Rwanda. Even though democracy is an issue, but the economy in Rwanda is being run by Rwandese diasporians. But for you, if you go to Kenya today like I went, you are a midget, you are an outsider, you are a foreigner. Yep. You have brought money, let us chew that money, and please go back. That's the attitude the government has. Because of the people who are running the government there. Some of them do not know how to change diapers. The first time I went to work in a home in London, I ran away. Because they gave me a pamper which was so big. I went to change a man. And I even spit and said I'll never do it. But at the end of the day, I did it. So you're talking to somebody who has done this, has got the experience. And that's why I'm saying that if I take over the government, then the first thing I'll do is probably I'll suspend the constitution, which comes to the answers. Suspend part of the constitution, because that thing was copy and paste by people who are commissions that were put together quickly. Go to South Africa, go here, benchmarking. It's not a constitution at all. And that was part of my manifesto, that we shall suspend the constitution. And being a president, we shall apply conventions. The constitution is just a paper. What's so important on that constitution is the preamble, which says, we the people.
That's right.
That's all.
Yep.
To those who have studied the constitution in details, and I being a comparative constitution scholar, there is nothing like Sijui article what at we the people do hereby. Do hereby. Which gives you the authority that you can shred the whole thing and move on. And that's what I was going to use. Suspend some of this constitution, cut down counties, and get them into 8 regions. 8 regions. Each region to be a state, either under the chief minister or governor. And then also come in and say, okay, you people want this governor thing, you can either call it county, if not county, you can call it a municipal council, but you work within the state. So that if you want to do economic development in your state, and I will give like Narok, county within Rift Valley State, whichever you call it. Then Narok produces hides and skins, meat, tourism, it's a water catchment area, and it's a wheat growing area. And human resource. So let the communities in Narok decide what to do with that revenue, what they have collected from those resources. Let them go to their county or municipal level, legislate on apportionment where the money is collected, and prioritize a percentage of that money on their own needful infrastructure, which includes schools, hospitals, roads, and humanities. Then if they can take 50% of what they have collected, let them take 30% to the state government. And then let the state government in Nakuru take 20% or whatsoever to the central government or the federal government. That means that Narok's money will remain in Narok, and Narok will continue being operational rather than taking money to the central government for some weird constitution which says that this percentage goes to the counties. And that's where I differed with Raila Amolo Odinga. We were very close. And I told him, Mzee, I cannot join ODM. Because first, when tupa nje, nika form Roots Party, and now you want me to join you in Azimio. I am not joining Azimio, but I'll run as an independent Roots Party presidential candidate. Therefore, to answer that question, I was not actually in Azimio. Because of the ballot with Raila Odinga, ODM, George Wajackoya, Roots Party of Kenya. But I only came into Azimio when, after the elections. I'm very close to the Raila Odinga family because I used to be the food tester of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga when he was in exile. What I didn't taste was meat and fish because I don't eat those two. I didn't know that previously there was a special food tester when the system wanted to eliminate him. For all those years, the Odinga family was under captivity. So in England, the late Sumbalangi called me and said, Mwan Jamo, Tokibi Idaka, Idaka Mzee, Kujo Kaina Mzee. Kakana Mzee, I'm very humble man. I learned a lot. Then I ate until I became very fat, but I never died. That's how my relationship started with the Romans. Then it extended Raila. Anytime he came to London, I used to give him security escort. He could drink. I didn't drink. I don't drink. I don't eat meat. I don't eat fish. I don't take alcohol. Even that smoking, you people here, I've never smoked. But a caricature. A caricature. The church, please get this very clear for me. A caricature. And that's why it comes, when it comes to Matiang'i, yes, there's the Guzi party, which was made for him. And somebody, and I don't like abusing anybody. I will speak on issues, but not abuse. I'm a peaceful man. Somebody comes and tells Matiang'i, enda Kisii, kusanya hawa Kisii, kuja na hawa na hiyo kwa mesa hii. How many Kisiis are there that can vote for somebody to be a president, if we were to go that way? Now, somebody is setting up Matiang'i, and that's why I was looking for him. And I said to him, I wanted to tell him something, but they zoned me not reaching. And now Uhuru comes up and says he can come by Jubilee. I'm not here to speak for Matiang'i because he can make his own choice. But you remember, something happened recently in Kenya. Some freeway was built, and the manner of contract raised some issues with the KRA. When they said that KRA was after that company, ambaye ilijenga ile freeway, expressway, Uhuru was in State House the following day. My brother. So you ask yourself, was Uhuru involved in siphoning money from this country by building this thing? And that's why I said, I will demolish SGR and even demolish that highway. And now it came to pass when KRA came up. And now you can conclude the answers. Am I right? Now imagine the same man now is telling Matiang'i, come and take over this party. Immediately after that meeting with Uhuru. Does that tell you something? Do we want to extend the status quo and the legacies of the Kenyattas? Then where are we going? Answer me. Is that what you wanted me to say? That's why Roots Party is independent, but you are looking for partners that you can work with. And one of the people who have seen is my brother Matiani. The good part of it is that somebody, Wamnyoro, has already now sworn not to work with Matiani. You see the colors coming out?
Yeah.
Because you had a Kikuyu party. The Kikuyus are the best people in that country because they fought for independence. They educated me through James Kamoto. They voted for me. Now somebody is coming now to take them away from us. Then I told Gachagua the other day that if you want Kikuyu country, unakuja hapa sisi wa Kikuyu, sisi wa Kikuyu, sisi wa Kikuyu. Okay, the constitution allows you to have a referendum. Kweneni mchukue nchi yenu, mpate passport mkija huko kwingine. Was I wrong? But is that what we want?
No.
One man cannot make the whole nation to suffer. Our Kikuyu brothers are Kenyans. We cannot hate them just because of one man who wants to do things for selfish interests. I'm not blaming him or talking against him, but I'm speaking it the way it is. I've gone to some of the churches, and the churches know the answers why some of them always chase me away. But when you tell the truth, you become humbled. I was looking at the economic development of our country, and I came up with a proposition. My proposition was that we grow hemp. Hemp has made Canadian government to earn $486 billion in the year 2022. In Canada now, they have moved away from new economic order to hemp economic order. They have gone into industrial manufacturing, where they manufacture airplanes from hemp, they manufacture concrete from hemp, they even make their roads from hemp material, the byproduct of hemp. But what is intriguing is Israel. As Bishop, as Pastor, you can tell us. Because a lot of research has not been done. If I ask you a question that how does Israel survive in the Middle East, what will you say?
Wow.
Some people will say the Bible. Yeah, that's what most people know. Even some of our preachers at home. But what they don't understand is that Israeli economy is 100% hemp oriented. It's from hemp that they manufacture armaments, heavy equipment, ship. It's from hemp products that they grow their agricultural industry, and that's why Israel has become the largest exporter of oranges because of the ingredients. And that's why Israel is capable of maintaining its dignity and its influence among enemies, as they call them. It's because of hemp. I went to school known as Nyasore High School somewhere. When I saw that sign, I said, hey, wow. So I went in. And I was like, I had done research and I was told that the Gusii land has the best ingredients of growing very high caliber hemp for industrial and medicinal. 50 kgs of hemp. If you go to New York Canadian Stock Exchange, Toronto Stock Exchange, for example, is 302 million US. We have 1 million acres in Galana Bulalo. If only we took 200,000 acres there and grew hemp, which grows for 4 months, you don't need to insecticize it. You don't need manure. Because of course you know the ingredients of hemp, that if you bite it you become drunk. And imagine if an animal or an insect try to play with it. And also the soil, the ingredients of soil thereafter. Would have paid off the Chinese debts within 2 harvests because it grows for 2 months. Now, how comes that Uganda legalized the other day with an Israeli company? How comes that Botswana's president, Botswana which has got diamonds, has fully come to legalize hemp to improve the economy, to save diamonds from extinction? How come South Africa has legalized and is even manufacturing medicine for cancer? People don't want to know that. The smoking aspect will always be there. I'm not concerned with the smoking. I was only concerned with it that particular time when I wanted people to listen to me. You know, sometimes you have to be mad for a good woman to like you. When you get crushed in a place, you end up eating the best and going away with the best of the best. That was my formula of get crushed. What about the capital city of Kenya? Nairobi is congested. It's congested to the core. Singapore took the blueprint of Nairobi city in 1964, and look at Singapore. Planning, urban planning. We are moving very fast and the population is growing very fast. Dar es Salaam was congested, and Chama cha Mapinduzi moved the city to Dodoma. Abuja became a creation because of Lagos. Nairobi should remain a business city, and we should suggest to go to a place like Isiolo, whose proximity to Ethiopia, Somalia, and Sudan, and the diversity, economic diversity in that region, with an international airport in Isiolo. That means we shall have to export our products as soon as they are brought from the harvest, instead of driving them along to Nairobi. We move our parliament to Isiolo to curb corruption. And then we deny these MPs CDF, because that's where corruption is. And then we empower county governments or regional governments to budget. And maybe we come to my sister here, Hulda, and my brother, to come in as experts, to show us the way. And we bring all of you home as human resource. We shall have no reliance. We are moving away from economic reliance and humanitarian reliance. No more begging. And that's the syndrome that we have in that country. Nipatie kidogo. If you go to Kenya today, people who beg are mostly are people who have gone to school and are working. Nipatie kidogo. For how long are you going to beg? That's why I'm very proud of this team that has invited me here. They brought me food, they paid for my hotel, and they've been driving me around. Do you want to tell me that they had nothing good to do with that money? Because they have seen some sign of truthfulness. In Kenya, if you speak the truth, you become an enemy of the state. I have 17 degrees. I have a law firm. My brain is still intact. Why would I go and fight while others are enjoying? I chose that path because I feel that I have a duty to my country. In that country, probably, if you do your own research, I'm the only one who has no noise. I don't make noise. At magari ndio hiyo, unakimbia mtu akufungulia mlango, ndio utoke, bodyguards. Wastage of resources, duplication of roles in government to appease some people. We need to cut off that. Trust me, I intend to be a dictator, and let me tell you today. And I intend to be a benevolent dictator so that things can be done. I intend to introduce death penalty to curb corruption. If the Chinese can kill a corrupt individual, and then in Kenya, somebody steals money earmarked for hospital treatment, and 400 patients die, Kenyans die. And that person is arrested and is laughing because there are some laws that were made which I want to do away with. Shall I call for a special tribunal? Hang a few of them. Just hang them in Uhuru Park, upside down. I'm sorry to say this. If you want to tell me you are a human rights watcher, you're Niago. Let's call a spade a spade. How would you own land equivalent to Kisumu? The whole of Nyanza, one family, and people are dying. Look at Kisses, look at the population in Kisii land. And that's why I love you, Kisses, those who are here. Because together, Kisii, Dagoretti, Kisii. Ukiona matatus, because this is also time for the Gusti community, which has lacked leadership until Matiang'i came up front. Au ni Wakisii. Au tutaenda tu hiyo ni ODM. Wake up. You are a very brilliant community. You were when Kebaso was there, the late Kebaso. When George Wajackoya was there. When Sakini was there. That was Kisii. When Nyachae was there. I said Nyachae. I wish Nyachae was a Luhya. I wish Nyachae was a Luo. I wish Nyachae was a Kikuyu. Look at this. Even if there are proponents and opponents, as we look at what has happened. Today I went to a church and I was smiling. I looked at children and I said, how am I Kenya? Watoto wa Kenya? There are so many, like the Chinese, because they're my so we are producing. Kumbe Wakisii wanafanyanga kazi namna hiyo. That was my pride. That was my pride. Whoever brought the first Kisii, and the first Kisii brought the second Kisii, you have now become the first community in the United States to give me an audience. Get my own lawyers. Get my own lawyers. My sister Carol is here. They will be like, anataka nini? They want me to buy the booze, which I don't drink. And then, wapatie nyama choma, ndio wanisikize. I'm still going to look for the child, Mheshimiwa. And before I continue, may I also call upon my friend, where is he? Martin Bonda. Just come here. Before I conclude in the next 10 minutes. Yes. This gentleman you see has joined the Roots Party. He served as an electoral officer under Kibuitu. And he's going to run for Borago constituency 2027. And I welcomed him in Roots Party as our first candidate in Kisii. And let me give him 2 minutes just to speak for himself before I call him to speak also. Because us, Roots, we are diverse. So I'm also welcoming you to come just now. Just come, yes. And any other Kenyan who wants to run for election in whichever party, just to come, so that I can show you the kind of leadership that we want in our country. So I'll give you an opportunity to speak. It doesn't matter which party you're running on. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. My name is Martin Bonda, and thank you, I'm humbled for your offer. The people of Borago have called me. They want me to rescue them. Our people in Kenya are crying. They need us. We cannot be able to sit aside and watch. This is the time we have to put ideas together. We look for people like Wajackoya, people who are loaded with ideas. We go back, we help our people. I'm going back with expertise. I'm going back to sit with people, and we are going to do action. We are going to implement things. We are no longer going to sit down and watch. This is our time. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for the erudite discussion you're giving us today. And I have to tell you that to decide or to make a decision to run in Kenya is not a joke. It's not easy. But as you heard from him, there is this drive, there's this kind of calling that makes him, survive in that kind of environment. This country, the United States, was built mostly by immigrants and especially slaves 400 years ago. So some of the fruits we see today is the sweat of people who came here and decided to work for this country. So let's not be complacent. Let's support those of us who have decided to go back and work for our country with the expertise we got from here, with the calling and the oomph talking about. Yeah, so that we can support the likes and the like-minded people like Professor George Wajackoya here, a scholar who has offered himself to work for our country and to join the like-minded people to work. So thank you for the party you founded, and as again we have many other like-minded parties, we will be able to, as time goes forward, discuss on modalities of working together. The aim is to take out this government and install a government of the people that will not allow corruption, that will work for the people and help the country move forward. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor. I'm very happy to have a chance to be here and to address people. Thank you. Okay, I'm saying thank you so much, Professor Wajackoya, for the opportunity. So I made sure that I wanted to be here to see you first because I'm your student. I've learned a lot of things from you, the way you carry yourself, the way you think, and the way you reason. And I'm telling you that you have so many students. One of them is from this state of Minnesota. I want to surprise so many people that have been telling these people that I'm going to fight for the governor of Nyamira, and people have been asking me like, why can't you go for an MC, and they start laughing at me, but let me tell you, I have a dream, and I'm going to make sure when you listen from the Professor Wajackoya, the way he started going until now he's fighting for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya, it's the same journey I'm following. And as I said, I have a dream. I am not going to allow anybody to demean me or think that I cannot make it. I am in the process, and I'm going to fight very hard to be among the people I want to bring change in my county, Nyamira, which is, I see a lot of abnormality which is going on. I'm a very bitter person, a young man, who is going to make sure that, and I'm focused mostly on education because I went through hell to acquire education, and that's why, Professor, people can tell you, my friends here, that I talk a lot about you because of your education. I say if Wajackoya has 13 degrees, I am on my second bachelor's degree, and I think I'm following it to have a 17th one. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Abednego Maina Nakundi, the next governor of Nyamira.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for coming to Minnesota. I actually am so happy that finally,
yes,
we can actually see the light.
yeah,
Because, for those who don't know me, I'm actually the original Kenyan.
yes,
We fought it. We fought for the truth. During that time, and I tell people, we fought for multipartyism.
yes,
And don't forget history. So many people fell. So many people fell fighting for this same day. That we can have people of reason actually to stand up and say the truth. We cannot live in a country where actually there's corruption in and out. I am going to be a disruptor in the Roots party. I'm going to be a disruptor. I'm going to be a person who's actually going to propagate the meaning of roots.
yes.
I've read you. I've been reading you actually, by the way, I have 5 degrees too. So I didn't have 17, but I have a few here. But what I believe, after actually going all through, managing people is not easy. If you can hang people upside down because of corruption, actually that's down in Hong Kong.
Yes.
At 9 o'clock, you are actually caught as a corrupt person. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, you are told that actually you are sentenced to death, and by 3 o'clock you have been given to make sure there is appeal going on. By 3 o'clock you are done. Then,
and tell you, if Kenyans, we can subject them to proper, strict monitoring of corruption, we can save millions. Now, Professor, I like people who actually bring reason. I am going to be a disruptor. Don't worry, I have enough people with me. I will come with the money to disrupt those corruptors and expose them and make them actually suffer so that they can actually return their... Why would you have 300,000 acres of land when actually in Kisi I can't even get a place where to put a house? You know, and then you say, okay, me, I'm a patriot of Kenya. When we have all those people, yes, some of you are good, you have worked very hard to get actually those businesses going in Kenya. I have some. But it is us who are going to determine the next chapter. Thank you for bringing roots. I will actually join you and be shameless to join you as actually a disruptor in the Roots Party.
Your names.
And the positions.
The position. I'm not going to say what position I have for security reasons.
Okay.
The position you are running.
The position I'm running.
Yes.
I've said I'm going to be a disruptor.
Yeah.
You know why? When you are a disruptor, you go to where it burns, and actually you cool it, or you put burning, or you put the fire to expose. My name is Peter Momani.
What is your name?
Peter Momani. Peter Momani. I'm from Gitubu, Masaba, and I actually been very passionate about this struggle. Professor, I can tell you now, because I'm actually out. I was jailed for 15 years. And because actually I was a student union, and I was actually Secretary General of the students in Nairobi University. And out of that, I still going to claim my money while they jail me. So thank God I came to this country, God knows how, and I went to school because I love education. I love those days we could sit with the professors and actually find the truth about the truth. And I actually got those degrees, and I'm okay. I'm going there.
Yes, Mheshimiwa Wajackoya ambaye nimekuona live kwa mara ya kwanza, nikusalimie kwanza. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Wajackoya kwa kutembea Minnesota. Kwa majina mimi naitwa, wananijua kama Mwanakendra, ni jina la usanii. Nimesimama hapa kwa niaba ya ndugu zetu ambao wapo katika sekta ya entertainment, na pia vile nimesimama hapa kuwakilisha waliochaguliwa. Mimi niliwahi chaguliwa kama MCA nikiwa na miaka 23, Mheshimiwa Wajackoya. Kwa hiyo nimesimama hapa kuwakilisha wale wote ambao waliwahi hudumu katika ofisi za kiserikali. Na kwa kweli ningependa kuchukua dakika moja tu, kwa sababu kwa heshima zako sijawahi kuona mtu ambaye ana kiwango cha kuwa rais wa Kenya kuwapa watu nafasi wazungumze, akati speech yake apeane nafasi. Kwa hiyo ni heshima kubwa sana. Hiyo inaonyesha kwamba unajali watu na wewe sio mtu wa kujitakia. Na kwa jinsi ambavyo taswira na picha yako inaonekana, kwa kweli leo nimekuwa makini sana kwa kusikiliza. Na kama kamera zitakavyosema baadaye, nimekuwa mtu ambaye ni watabasamu nyingi sana nikikuangalia ukizungumza. Umezungumza mpaka kuna watu ambao wanakuona taswira tofauti, lakini tumekuja kuhakikisha kwamba unavyozungumza kwa kweli una maono mazuri ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Kwa hiyo ningependa kwamba wewe uungane na opposition, mfanye kazi, muhakikishe kwamba nchi yetu inasonga mbele. Kwa majina yangu halisi naitwa Albert Oilo, nimetoka South Mugirango constituency, nilikuwa na hudumu katika wadi ya Chitago Borabu, na I was elected